As Voices for Oklahoma's Future, the mission of OICA is to create awareness, take action, and change policy on behalf of Oklahoma's children and youth. With 30 years of experience gathering stakeholders around the table to address an issue, our track record for success is strong. In our Stories Matter project, we gather experts and policymakers from across our state, all of whom collectively work to make Oklahoma a better place to live, work, and raise a family, to ask tough questions about the number of children in our state who fall victim to abuse and neglect.
If we don't figure out how to truly prevent child abuse, where it doesn't exist anymore, at least not in the way that we see it right now, what we create 20 years from now is another group of children who are being maltreated. It's another group of young adults who are homeless or who are not able to get into a reasonable job market because they're undereducated, or because they don't believe that they can do anything better than just hang out in the neighborhood and get into trouble. And that's simply not true for these children, but it will be true for them in 20 years if we don't do something in a different way.
According to the latest Kids Count data, instances of child abuse and neglect are higher in Oklahoma than most states. We know this affects the overall well-being of our state and drives other statistics like criminality, physical and mental health issues, and poverty to unacceptable levels for a prosperous future.
You find the people where the kids are most at risk won't be registered to vote. They're the silent, almost forgotten people of Oklahoma. And the more we can reach out and touch children early in life and give them an environment, a healthy environment to grow in, to me it's the most important thing, because they are our future.
One of the things that we know about early child brain development is that the events that happen to you as a young child, say under age 3, have a great deal to do with who you are in the future. We see much higher rates of medical, mental health, and developmental issues in those children who have been abused or neglected.
If you have a child that's been abused throughout his life, and then all of a sudden you see that criminal behavior, I think that there's something there. It's normally nothing that happens overnight. That's a long-term problem that has evolved to the criminal activity. So,
in order to address any problem through advocacy and policy change, there has to be an understanding of what truly is the driving force behind these statistics.
My first child home from the hospital, I remember all of the grandmas and grandpas went home and left us there with this baby, and we didn't know what to do, and we were afraid. Even though I was a pediatrician, of course I knew what I was supposed to do, but it was overwhelming. And so there's such a need for both child abuse prevention programs to go into those homes, as well as just community groups coming around those young families to try to help them learn how to be better parents.
To end the cycle of abuse and neglect, we have to invest in initiatives that empower parents to make better parenting decisions. Together, we have the power to solve this problem.
We spend, and rightfully so, millions and millions and millions of dollars putting these cable barriers up to prevent car accidents. If we'd spend 10% of that trying to prevent child abuse, we would greatly enhance the budget for prevention of child abuse in Oklahoma.
any funding that will help prevent child abuse is really a positive thing for the community. It helps the children, it helps the parents, it helps them address the issues that might be causing them to act out in a violent way. So I think anytime you can address that with any type of funding, it's a positive for the community.
Child abuse prevention efforts allow us to go into the homes of young families who are struggling with so many other issues and really come around them and help them with the parenting side of life.
If we're not dealing upstream with the children coming into that, then all we are is just changing up the filter on a bad engine. I mean, and so yeah, we're going to polish it up, we're going to tweak it up, make it a little bit, run a little smoother, the car. But the car is running on the flow of brokenness in families and the children, and that's feeding this ever bloated, bigger bureaucracy based on the fact that we're not doing something with these children upstream so that they're not coming to us in the first place.
As Voices for Oklahoma's Future, we're committed to doing whatever it takes to give every Oklahoma child the opportunity to succeed. Together, let's end the epidemic of abuse and neglect of Oklahoma's children.
The thing about it, children love you unconditionally. And the thing about it is that we owe them nothing but the best.
God bless organizations like the Institute for Child Advocacy and their voice for Oklahoma's future. Children are our future. Their work at the Capitol advocating for prevention dollars is just critical as we move forward as a state. And the question is, what kind of society are we here in Oklahoma? Are we going to step up and help kids, or are we not? And it takes dollars.